7 goals and 2 wins for United in our last 2 games. It's good to see us heading into the international break with some genuine momentum. There was a lot to like about the win over Leicester, but Amorim is all too aware of how much more is needed. Let's run through the biggest takeaways from that game, including discussions about Hojlund, Garnacho, Heaven, and a few others, including Bruno. So far this season, every single international break or any break that we have had, the feeling going into it has been pretty doom and pretty gloom. But I'll tell you what, there's a positive vibe going into this one. And is there some momentum building? We'll find out, I suppose, when we play Forest and City and Lyon when we come back. But going into the international break, United have actually found a bit of momentum and a bit of form. I'm going to run through everything, 5 things and 5 takeaways from the Leicester game, and you can let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, is something clicking? That's the question I'll ask you. Given all that the injuries that United have got right now, I think our last 3 performances away at Sociedad was frustrating because it felt like United deserved more than a draw. Against Arsenal, United deserved to win that game. And then we follow that up with a 4-1 win over Sociedad and a 3-0 win over Leicester. And the goals that we scored against Leicester yesterday, I really enjoyed. This one here from Hojlund, that ball from Bruno over the top to Hojlund was lovely. Spotting that run in behind. Great movement from him. And this one is something that we should be scoring significantly more of next season. Just a straight up cutback. Bruno held his run, edge of the box, Delo, perfect pass to him. A simple goal. United made it look simple, and Bruno definitely did. Now, Ruben's not getting carried away, and neither am I. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, great, United, fantastic. But it's about building blocks. It's about one step. I know the expectations are that United should be winning the Premier League, but Christ, we are far away from that. And given everything that's happened so far this season, it feels like some momentum is being built. And let's hope that that continues against Forest, because the games that we've got when we come back from this international break, we've got Forest away, City at home, Lyon away in the Europa League, then Newcastle away, and then Lyon at home in the Europa League. Some big old games when we come back. Fingers crossed we can keep this up. Now, fingers crossed as well for Aiden Heaven, because as soon as you see your player being stretched off like that, you imagine the worst. Sky didn't show the replay. Now, the latest that we know is that he walked in a boot out of the stadium unaided, without crutches. So we know that Aiden Heaven hasn't broken his ankle. So it could be, I'm sure he'll be doing an MRI scan, a CT, do all the sorts of scans today, and maybe by Wednesday we might hear something from the club. Best case scenario, it might be a sprained ligament. Worst case scenario, it's a ligament tear or ligament, severe damage. We'll find out. But Heaven was so impressive in his first few appearances in a United shirt. And again, I'm going to give some more credit here to Jason Wilcox, to Chris Favell for spotting him, because he was ready to start for Arsenal. They just didn't have the pathway for him in the team. He's 18 coming in, and he looks like he's been here for a while. That didn't look like his Premier League debut. It didn't look like his Europa League debut. So fingers crossed that it's good news when we find out about it. But next up on the list, how can I not talk about Bruno? I suppose I will do, because Roy Keane has made talking about Bruno even more important from a United fan's perspective, because I want to defend my captain amidst the criticism that he has had. Now, his form in his last 2 games is just silly. So 4 goals and 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's now only the 6th player in a United shirt to get more than 50 goals and 50 assists in the Premier League. And by the time he leaves this football club, he'll be behind only, in my opinion anyway, behind only Wayne Rooney and Ryan Giggs in terms of how many goals he has directly contributed to in the Premier League. He's currently 50 off Paul Scholes, who is in third with 162. I think Bruno will get there. And he's just a phenomenal captain. And did you see the interview that he had with Sky after? Very respectful towards Roy Keane. I understand that not everyone's going to like my way of being a captain, but I'm doing everything I can to be the example. And I think he is a fantastic example. And Ruben Amorim loves him, and I love him. And this United team, I'm not saying that we should build around Bruno Fernandes, because you can't build a team around a 30-year-old. I suppose you can actually. Look at Liverpool with Salah. Yeah, maybe you do just build around him. Either way, he is the heartbeat and the nucleus of this team, and I wouldn't want it any other way. What I want next season, I still can't figure out whether I want Bruno Fernandes to be one of the inside forwards or one of the deeper central midfielders next season. I still can't figure it out. I keep chopping and changing. But his form from that position has been fantastic. He is a great captain. There are different flavours of captains, different types of captains. Just because Bruno isn't Roy Keane, it doesn't mean that he's a bad one. Love Bruno, and he deserves more praise. So keep it coming. Now, two people who deserve praise. Well done to Hojlund and Garnacho, because it could not have been easy to keep coming every single game and it just not working out. Try as you might, you just can't find the back of the net. And both of them found the net in the same game. Hojlund deserved it. Garnacho deserved it. If you work hard for it and you graft, you deserve it in the end. And that's exactly what Hojlund and Garnacho did. Not only in that game, but how they've been playing. In particular, Hojlund. I felt really sorry for him, man. Like, for him to score that goal was just... All right, so the chance you actually do take is on your right foot when it's a tight angle. Fair play. And somebody who I want to praise after that game, and I don't really think there's too much being said about De Ligt outside of just United fans. I think he's just quietly been impressive and consistent pretty much his whole season. Souness saying that he's lightweight. The only thing that's lightweight here is your football knowledge, Souness. He never was lightweight. He is a very physical and dominant defender. Not just talking about that block he made when we were 2-0 up in like the 85th minute, but just as a central centre-back, I really like what De Ligt brings to this team. And I want to see him partnered with the likes of Heaven and Yoro either side of De Ligt. That's a back three that I can get along with. He deserves probably a bit more praise than he's been getting. That's why I think so anyway. And something that happened against Leicester, forgot who played there, is Harry Mass made his debut, became the 99th academy player to make his debut for the club. And it's just like, congratulations to him. But aside from just Harry and Mass, you look at the younger players that were involved in that game. Now, of course, injuries are dictating that opportunities exist for these players, but that's fine. That's sometimes how you find out about these younger players. We might not know about Aiden Heaven had Lisandro Martinez not got injured. So where there's pain and loss, there's sometimes opportunities for others. And Aiden Heaven, Harry Amas, Toby Collier, Chido Obi, Alejandro Garnacho, all 21 or under were involved in that game yesterday. Ruben Amorim is enjoying putting them into the team. Him saying there that he loves putting the kids into play, and he had a big smile on his face. And I'll tell you what, if there's anything you can just take away from that game, it's the fact that you as a United fan are allowed to go into this international break just with a smile on your face. Not every football game and not every week has to be or feel like a war. That's all that was yesterday. A 3-0 win that should have been a 3-0 win. A comfortable win for United and a nice international break where hopefully they can rest and recuperate and keep this momentum going, because there's definitely something that's happened in those last two games. Hell, we've scored 7 goals and plenty from open play. Fingers crossed, after the Forest and City games, Ruben Amorim's still got a smile on his face. And you as well.